Are we in trouble? You
Come on, you're gonna remove
dumbass.
the penis of a healthy 14-year-old boy?
Because he has underlying problems of autism or anxiety or depression or whatever. That's horrific.
Oh my God.
As a matter of fact, here's a headline from the Daily Telegraph. Sex reassignment in minors may be medical history's greatest ethical scandal, according to a French government report. So the French government has joined the British government in saying no more experimental drugs and procedures, surgery on children. There needs to be a long, slow, careful psychological evaluation before you even consider any of this stuff. And you'll note that a lot of the so-called gender-affirming care clinics in the United States, not only do they not do a slow, careful, long-term study, they forbid it. They whisk you down the pipeline and get you, drugged and nipped and tucked. It's sick. The French Senate report comes in the wake of the leaked WPATH files, which we have talked about in the past, which showed that gender medicine doctors, therapists, and activists know they're causing harm, and they're not getting informed consent from their victims. It's undeniable. Final gender-bending madness update note. Progress. More good news. In 2021, if you ask people, is it okay for men to play on women's sports teams if they say, I'm a girl? It was 86 to 10 no among Republicans. It's now 93 to 6. So even among Republicans who virtually everybody agreed, those numbers have grown significantly or changed significantly. Among independents, it was 63-33 no. It's now 67-28 no. And even among Democrats, and if you are a Democrat, we may disagree on the scope and power of government or welfare programs or 100 different things, but that doesn't mean we can't be friends and get along and be neighbors and whatever. But you've got to disassociate yourself from this radical theory crowd. They are sickos. Anyway, among Democrats, in 2021, they believed, yes, it's fine for boys to compete against girls if they say, I'm a girl, by 55-41. Now it fails, 48-47. So it's, within the margin of error. But even Democrats are waking up and saying, no, now that I've actually seen it and thought about it, you can't have young men who've gone through male puberty competing against girls, especially the Leah Thomas nightmare, that college swimmer. 6'4", rippling with muscles, fully intact genitalia, saying, I'm a girl now.
So there are Summer Olympics coming up in Paris. How have the Olympics stayed out of this problem?
They haven't actually. They've used some very, very careful language to say, yeah, if you went through male puberty, no.
So there won't be any men competing in women's sports at the Summer Olympics?
I believe not. I can check and, but I have to close with Voltaire's words that anyone who can make you believe absurdities can make you commit atrocities. Looking at Leah Thomas and saying that's a woman, it's beyond an absurdity.
Armstrong and Getty.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GA-won't-wait.
Talk Radio 560 KSFO San Francisco, KSAN HD2 San Mateo, a Cumulus media station.
This is a Fox News Alert. A last-minute lifeline for the former president, Lisa Brady. A New York appeals court just approving a big drop in the amount that former President Trump has to pay while he appeals a civil fraud judgment. The New York Attorney General had been expected to begin freezing bank accounts and seizing assets as soon as today. said they've been unable to post a required bond to cover it for appeal. But the appeals court ruling says they'll hold off that judgment if the former president puts up $175 million within 10 days.
Now that's been reduced down to $175 million, one would think again that it would be more possible for Trump to come up with that money within 10 days. If he does not, he's still looking at a slate of possibilities with the Attorney General, seizing his properties, filing liens, freezing his bank accounts. But now we're going to have to wait and see.
Fox Business' Lydia Hu outside a different court in New York City. Lawyers for the former president arguing that a hush money-related case against him should be thrown out or further delayed. That would be the first criminal case against him to go to trial. The former president calling it a witch hunt. Congress not sending a delegation to the U.S. Wrapping the trip today after the U.S. named Trump but did not veto a UN Security Council resolution calling for a ceasefire in Gaza during the holy month of Ramadan. It also calls for the release of hostages, but does not link that demand to the ceasefire, and it does not condemn Hamas.
Our vote does not, and I repeat that, does not represent the shift in our policy.
White House National Security Communications Advisor John Kirby telling reporters,
We have been clear and we've been consistent in our support for a ceasefire as part of a hostage deal.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, though, accuses the U.S. of retreating from a principled position by allowing the vote to pass. America is listening to Fox News.
Kids across America are going to school hungry. Millions of kids every day. Hungry kids get sick more often and can struggle in school. It can be harder for them to focus and learn. But one simple thing can help change all of this for a hungry child in America. Good healthy food and the energy it brings. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals at home to hungry kids so they can build better futures.
We want to ensure that all of our kids have healthy meals every day. Thank you.
Thank you for helping feed our kids.
To learn more about ending child hunger in America, go to helpnokidhungry.org today.
This report is sponsored by Caltrans Clean California. Would you like your community to be recognized as a beautiful and clean place to live? Help the place you love become a designated Clean California community. Take the pledge today at cleanca.com. Zero litter is the goal. Talk Radio 560 KSFO. Like us on Facebook at 560 KSFO and stay up to date on the latest events. Talk Radio 560 KSFO.
Hey folks, Larry Elder here. Now, you've probably been hearing me endorse wire refi for some time now, and yes, many of my colleagues do as well. What makes wire refi so different from other investments? Let's quickly break it down. Wire refi offers a secured collateralized portfolio with a strong fixed rate of return, up to 10.25%. There's no attack on your principal if you ever need your money back, and you're in control. You can let your investment compound daily or take income, whatever you choose. There are absolutely no fees, and an investment in wire refi is an investment in America's future. Call 855-397-3208 or log on to investwirerefi.com/SF in San Francisco. Wire Refi works with certified financial planner Michael Ginsberg, who can meet with you personally to see if Wire Refi is right for you. 855-397-3208 or log on to investwirerefi.com/SF. That's invest, the letter Y, then refy.com/SF. Tell them Larry Elder sent you.
KSFO traffic from the Chilton Auto Body Desk.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com. Let Express Employment Professionals help you hire for contract or full-time jobs. Forget about posting jobs, sifting through resumes, and interviews with unqualified applicants. Go to ExpressPros.com to find the location near you. That's ExpressPros.com.
Better news, Hayward, South 888 A Street, a crash cleared, but heavy and slow from 238 Sonol. They're about to run a traffic break to move in excavators southbound 680, heading for Koopman Road. Look out for that. Stall Bay Bridge, westbound before the island. It's off on the left-hand side. Heavy and slow from the metering lights, back up to the end of the lot. That's traffic. I'm Elaine Leung.
This report is sponsored by Pacific Coast Termite. Americans pay about $5 billion to control termites and repair their damage every year. Many people underestimate exactly how much damage they do. Call Pacific Coast Termite today at 800-PACIFIC for a free home inspection. Certain restrictions apply.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
We were sitting there, a couple people came up, had a few adult sodas, we were hanging out, and why am I telling you that? Because I'm going to tell you something. Value of friends. Friends, if you do all this stuff online, TikTok, Twitter, all this stuff, that's fake life. It is, it's fake life. They may cover it, but it's not real. I mean, there's this big thing on Twitter right now. That if you're not on Twitter, you have no idea what's best. But Christ is king, or something like that. If you're not on Twitter, you have no, trust me, you have no idea what this is. On Twitter, it's like the most important thing. This guy said this. This just goes to show you, like, if you're going, damn, what are you talking about? That is the point. It shows you how Twitter is totally fake life. But real friends, you don't need a lot of them. You just need a few good ones. I got this great friend, such an amazing guy. He's just like, you know, you have the one-upper in your life? This guy's the one-downer. Whatever you say, he wants to celebrate you even more. You say something like, hey, man, I don't know, make something up. I bought a new car this weekend, I really like it. He's like, that's the greatest car ever. Yeah, that's who this guy is, the orthodontist. He's like the nicest guy. And you know, I think the value of a good friend is when you go and hang out with him and you feel better when you love him. And that's this guy. So I gotta tell you, that's my weekend update. I haven't done one in a while, but that was all I did. I went out, had lunch, had some drinks, hung out with this guy, went back to the house with him, kind of chilled out a little bit. Friends, man, you don't need a lot of friends. Matter of fact, you may just need one, but you need a good one. Change your whole life. Man, needed that. All right, now what I wanted to talk about. I'll keep on this story. Trump's bond was just reduced from an obscene $450 million to $175. But I'll stay on it during the show. Just want to leave you kind of a quick takeaway. Yeah, this is good, but let's not anybody celebrate. The decision in and of itself is a disaster. There should be no bond at all. Trump's not guilty of it. But sometimes small things. All right, I got it back to an important story. So Friday, while I was on the air, a massive story about a terror attack in Moscow. Now, we did what we always do. We applied the Bongino. Now, the Bongino rule is frequently misinterpreted or misstated by people. The Bongino rule is this. It isn't don't talk about a story for 24 to 72 hours. That would be ridiculous. I mean, this Trump story just broke now. When breaking news breaks, it's my obligation to you to speak about it. My only request is give it 24 to 72 hours if it's an anti-Trump story or a story that sounds that's got an odor of like stale fish from a week ago. If it's a story like that, give it a day or two or three before you in your head say, this is what happened, I'm sure. We all do it. I do it too. This Moscow story on Friday about this terror attack in a Crocus Theater, Crocus City Hall area over there. I'm begging you with everything inside of me, please do not accept the immediate media narrative as fact. It may turn out to be, but do not ever, never, ever, ever accept media narratives immediately as fact. You should always be asking yourself with these kinds of stories, in a police state country like Russia, where I spent a lot of time, like a lot of time, who benefits from what? And always ask questions. The media will not do that. The media is going to find a way. I'm talking about the American media here. The American media is going to find a way with this Russia story to somehow paint it in a way that makes the Biden administration look good. Because they don't care about who committed the attack. They care about protecting liberals. They've done this over and over and over again. Yeah, that's a lot, man. You shouldn't really say that. Really? Well, what have we heard about the trans shooter in Nashville? That's something we should... But there's no questions to be asked. Yeah, but who's asking them? Okay, no one. Yet, however, if it's a MAGA guy who, God forbid, dumped a grenade somewhere, who we would all roundly condemn because we don't believe in violence on the show, it'd be a story from now until forever. The media doesn't care about stopping violence. They care about stopping Republicans. Don't accept anything they say. So if you watched my podcast, I played some video footage of Scott off. I had him to make an executive decision. Show's the Dan Bongino show. It's not the Joey Bank